Hello guys, welcome to the stream. Where is my model? Hey, the chat's working properly. There we go. There I am. Yes, welcome to the stream. Rockford, Robot Feet, both of you. I have part of a monster that I'm drinking. And I am doing great. How are you doing? Also, I'm just gonna get right into it, starting with where else would I start but the Gundam X itself. I really like these like thruster parts on the shoulders. The head is also pretty unique with these like smaller like cheek parts. And of course the satellite cannon is iconic. I also really like these like parts on the arm here and the leg here, and especially these parts at the these parts here. Those are also really interesting to build in the model kit. Overall, I do really like the shapes of it, and for a line art made by Kuno Kawada, it looks quite good. A lot of the time, Kuno Kawada's line arts don't look very good. But I think for the time being, I think I will give this S. The Dauntless, or Dauntless if you prefer that version of the name. This is actually one of my favorite gym-inspired mobile suits, we'll say. I really like the slightly rounded shoulders. It reminds me of like late Universal Century mobile suits. The thrusters here on the knees are great, and the overall shape of the chest, the head is a little odd, but he's got his own thing going, and he's great, and very adorable too. The backpack is also nice. It can use, there are different versions of it can be created, such as one that has a flight pack or one that has a cannon over the shoulder, but I didn't include those versions because I decided only to include the main Dauntless version. But the Dauntless, he's so sadly looking. I assume he means silly. He is very silly looking, but in a great way. He's going to get A. It's very, very sad that his high grade is P Bandai. Next, the Gundam Leopard, or if you're crazy, you could pronounce it Gundam Leopard, but nobody does that. I'm gonna say right off the bat, I don't like this like weird gun hand thing he's got going on right here. I don't like that at all. At all. I do really like this like big Gatling gun here. This basically does what the Heavy Arms does, but I almost feel like maybe it does it a little bit better. These little thrusters here at the feet are interesting. They don't make that much sense mechanically, but they do give it a bit of a bulkier feel. And this combat knife here is just, it's so perfect. The red eyes are also pretty unique. You don't usually see red eyes on Gundams. The asymmetry is nice. That's a cool one. Yeah, as a Metal Gear fan, I would expect you to like this one a bit. Rockford, remind me after the stream to send you a picture of the Gundam Heavy Arms. I think you'll like Heavy Arms as well. But I think this one, for me, gets... Overall, I do really like a lot of the designs from Gundam X, so for now, I'll put it in B, but it could eventually get up to A. Oh, before I actually go any further, I should say that this is... I want to clarify, because I've gotten some not very nice comments on previous ones. I'm not saying that my opinion is objectively correct or better than anyone else's opinions. All that I'm saying is that these are the order in which I like the design, and I'm talking about like aesthetics. I like these designs. Like, I like the Gundam X better than the Daughteress, which I like better than the Leopard. And I'm not saying that that's like this is the best design out of these three. If you like the say the Dauntless, maybe your list looks more like that, and that's fine. To you, this is correct, but to me, this is correct. And then I'm also not doing it by power either, because the Leopard is definitely more powerful than the Dauntless. But that being out of the way, the Airmaster. I love this V-fin. It's very unique. The white and red colors is also very good. Overall, the chest and the way the vents of the gun is very nice. The rifles being here on the skirt armor is very nice. Gives a very nice look. The overall curved shape to a lot of those parts is very good. And overall, I really like the lack of using a shield as the nose of the plane. Why didn't you rank that by how disgusting it looked? Because I don't want to. Let me actually... I should probably also get an image for the other mode. It transforms. I should show you guys that. Here's some guys who comes in here impressed. Yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense as a Metal Gear fan. Yeah, this is the transform mode. Let me actually maybe stop that. No, stop that. There. The lack of using a shield as the nose of the plane, I appreciate. The legs, I feel like the transformation leg could be maybe a little bit better, but overall, I really like this design. It's a shame it's in a modern high grade, and I think I like it a little bit better than the X. Moving on, actually, let me... Can I do that? There we go. Just real quick. There. Nice. Okay, next. The Daughteress high mobility type commander type. Or high mobility command, you could also just say. First reaction to this, first thoughts is why he's so pants. But I do really love it, and it kind of makes sense for a high mobility type. I really like this like fin he's got going on. That's S-Rank material right there. Real. As an Armored Core fan, I'm addicted to this sort of Shoji Kawamori-esque shoulder thing. This, I believe, is a Junya Ishigaki design. But this particular part reminds me of Shoji Kawamori. I do like this, probably a little bit better than the normal Dauntless / Daughteress. Hard to say for sure. Okay, the resident pretending to be a Zaku. The Genis. RMS-006 Genis, I believe. I kind of actually really love this design. The shoulders, I really like the way they like flow with it. Why does it actually look cool? Because it does. It is cool. That's why it looks cool, because it is cool. The knees look really great. I'm trying to figure out what these parts of the knees remind me of, but I can't seem to place it. Anyway, I think this was a Junya Ishigaki design. Junya Ishigaki did a lot of stuff for the show, which is great because, you know, I love his work. The, like, sort of mustache thing was odd at first, but you get used to it fast, and I like it now. But overall, the design really flows together well. Particularly the use of gray to break up the green silhouette is very good. And I think I like it slightly better than the Daughteress, the mustache is beautiful. So true. Next. Rockford, you probably like this one quite a bit as well. It's very similar. It does still have the giant, what's it called? Machine gun, but now it folds up. It's got this, giant missile rack here. This is the, Leopard Destroy. It's got 2 beam guns here. I believe these are also beam guns. The beam guns on the arms are changed out, but they're still the same. The red colors does look quite nice, but I'm not sure if it suits it quite as well as the colors make it look like a toy, but it's cool. Yeah. If it was done a little better with the color separation, particularly if the gold here was... If the gold wasn't gold, that might look a lot better. But I really love this missile rack. But overall, I don't like it as much as the normal Leopard. But it's a very similar design. This... Wait, what was this one called? Hang on, let me check real quick. I remember its model number. Was, I think anyway, it was PD-9700? Ah, yes it was. Okay. Gundam Belgafor. The head is a little odd. And I'm not really exactly sure what this is, I'll need to see it in action. But I believe this was one of the earliest Gundams used. Judging by the model number, it comes before even the Leopard Airmaster. Or no, before the in between the Leopard and Airmaster actually. The arms are pretty long, but I do actually really like that. This on the foot, this like spike thing is, I don't think it really fits with the design that well. But this whole part here I find to be very interesting. I like this one too. Then I think you'll quite like the Gundam Bakugo, which is based on this. But what's very interesting to me is that in its limit break attack so this comes from, this is not from, this was featured in, I think, the manga, I think it was Gundam X Under the Moonlight was the manga it was in, but it's originally from a G Generation game. And what's interesting is that in that game, when it uses its limit break attack, on its OS startup, first it shows Gundam X before it switches to saying Gundam Belgafor, which would suggest this particular unit might use a lot of Gundam X parts retrofitted to have repaired a damaged Gundam Belgafor unit. Since all the Gundams in this series, there exist multiple of. In fact, at one point there were many of, but Belgafor I do quite like. The question is, where exactly should I put him? I think I like him more than Destroy. No, I think I like him right in between the two. I like him very similar amount to Destroy, so right in between the two seems good. Okay, next. The Gundam X Divider. I actually do really like the Divider. At first, the shield is a little odd looking to me. I've always loved this this beam machine gun though. Mostly it's the same as the Divider, or I mean it's the normal X, but the satellite cannon was removed because the satellite cannon requires the moon to be out, and it requires the Gundam X to stay still for a bit to receive a microwave power beam from the moon. So it's not exactly the most, how do I phrase this, versatile system. You need situations to be like just right. The shield has thrusters on the side that can fold, backwards, and this opens up for the beam harmonica. I do really like the addition of a second beam saber, but it's also maybe not quite as unique as the original Gundam X, so I think I'll put it just below. But overall, they're mostly the same. Okay, next. The Vertigo. I love the Vertigo. I love the Vertigo so much. This is... I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably going to get #1 spot on this tier list. The moment I saw the Vertigo, it was love at first sight. It uses bits. It's very clearly based on the Kubele. It's got a mono eye, but it sort of has that same like mustache thing as the Genis, but cooler. I really like this sort of like arm-mounted weaponry thing that it's got going on. When mobile suits do that, it's so great. When it's done right, of course. But yeah, I love everything about this design, and it, for now, takes #1 spot. Okay, the Estardoth. This one's a little bit goofy, particularly around the head, where it kind of reminds me of a duck. And it's got very big pants, but in a different way. The big shoulders are odd. I do like the spike here, but overall, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of don't like this design very much at all. It's very odd in a way that I'm not a fan of. I think I will put this here, though. There, now it's got a nice balance. Okay, the Valiant, I believe this one was called. This one is, right, you can easily see this is definitely a Junichi Ishigaki design. I will say the elbow thing is a bit more than I usually like, but you can definitely see its daughter's lineage. But it's its own design, and it's a very good design at that. I really like the legs. You can definitely tell this thing flies. I believe it can fly in the atmosphere. And of course, obviously, it can fly in space. Everything flies in space, even human beings. Well, I mean, human beings either in space, human beings in spacesuits, or, you know, their corpses. But I also really like the very streamlined look of the head. It goes with the overall very streamlined look quite well. It, in some ways, almost even looks like a cross between Zone of the Enders and Advance of Zeta, and that can only be a good thing. This gets S tier. But I actually think maybe I should move these guys down into A. The, what was it called? Jurak. Or Jurag? I don't remember if it was Jurak or Jurag. Either way, it was nicknamed Polar Bear. It's clearly based on the Genis, but it's this one's for cold climates. That's why it was nicknamed Polar Bear. I like its little like Mandalorian visor thing that it's got going on. Very interesting. The cloth gives it a very interesting vibe, almost like a Patlabor or something from Zone of the Enders, like a Lev, that is, specifically a Lev from Zone of the Enders. Overall, actually, in general, this thing looks like a Lev. It's got that same sort of thing going on. And I actually like it quite a bit. It's similar to the Genis in a lot of aspects. But I don't think it can quite compare to the Genis. And the Immortal Octape. I think specifically this is the ground type of the Octape, but they look exactly the same for the most part. It's got very large shoulders. Actually, in general, it's got a very interesting thruster array here. I think these have got to be intakes for the thrusters. That's the only way that makes sense. I think I've got a bit of a cough starting. It's got a very big head. I do really like these Gatling guns on the chest. But overall, I don't think I like this as much as the Janus, not nearly, or even as much as the Daughteress. The shoulders, interestingly, actually, when you start to look at the shapes, they're very similar to the Wing Gundam, but a lot larger. Here seems like a good place for it. The Gundam Double X. I do really like these shoulders. That's possibly my favorite thing about the design. And also these, like, arm parts here. The backpack is very interesting. The head is quite nice, but not as good as the original. The chest part here looks a bit, just in some way a little odd to me, but overall looks quite nice. The, with the backpack not having a slot for it anymore because of the changes made to it for the twin satellite cannon compared to the normal one, I do feel like putting the beam sabers here in the waist is a good idea. Overall, it just sort of like, it doesn't quite do it for me as much as the normal Gundam X. As itself, but a lot of parts from it I could see myself using in like custom Gunpla builds, particularly those like arm bracer parts. And now the Estardot's smaller and slightly less odd-looking little brother, the Pyron. Pyron is a very interesting looking creature. It's got that same vibe, but it's a lot less weird looking. It's got sort of Zaku 1 vibes to me in some way, and I'm not sure exactly why that is. The head still looks pretty odd. It's still got that little sensor in the back. Overall, this thing is very interesting to me, but there's not that much to say about it, honestly. I do like the way that the scrotum kind of like meets here, instead of just falling inside there, because that's a good amount of, that's good, a good protective measure, I feel. But the design, like I said, there's not that much to talk about. It's definitely better than the Estardot, but compared to the rest of the designs, I think I'm still going to put it in D. But probably above the Leopard Destroy. Now, for the creature, also known as the Gable. I actually don't remember if it was Gabble or Gable, but it can punch. This thing is... I don't really... Why so many big? I don't know. This was during the part of the show, a lot of Gundam shows in this have this. This is during the part of the show where the bad guys are just throwing random weird bullshit at the protagonists. And this fits the bill pretty well. It's definitely got its own vibe going. But it's just really not my thing. I'm just gonna put it there. Wait, this should not be here yet. I gotta talk about this one first. I think. Did I get the order wrong? Yeah. Okay. No, wait, this is the, no, okay. I'm trying to talk about upgraded forms after I talk about the originals. Yeah, this is the Gundam Vasigo. So to start off with, I really like the head. The head is definitely one of the strongest points of this. It's got a similar, like, arm extending mechanism to the Dragon Gundam, and even more similar to the Ultron and Shenlong from Wing. The wings are also interesting here, speaking of Wing. Why does that look like a crazy gay Epion? Passionate. Passionate? So, this is... So, when a Shenlong Gundam and an Epion love each other very much... Anyway, It's almost got Gurren Lagann vibes with the way these look like eyes, and this is the mouth. It's got like, it's like... Yeah, like... Oh my gosh, they really swapped spit. Oh, they did so much more than that. And Epion got pregnant. Anyway, I do really like these side zero armors. And these parts here, these ankle parts are basic, but I feel like they really suit the design. Side note, I actually on all the mobile suits from X, I actually really like their hands, but I only have one. I only have, out of all Gundam X kits, I only have the Gundam X, and its hands aren't that interesting. You need to go for out back now. This is the one that I said you might like. The Gundam Vasigo. Although the Astron, possibly more than that. But yeah, this thing is, there's, like, I understand that's your favorite up to now. Nice. I definitely understand where the appeal from this comes from. And the color scheme is definitely great. But it's sort of thing where it's just like, it's not really my style. It looks like something transformed from a muscle car. So what's nice is you see like these parts here. So these extend to make the arms like really long, and then these parts are like claws that like go over the arms. So it does, in that way it transforms. And then also this part here is the microwave beam cannon. But yeah, it's just not really that much my thing, but it does sort of look like it would transform from a muscle car. I do like it more than that one though. And yeah, I'll put them in high end of the C. Okay, it's upgraded form, the Vasigo chest break. Speaking of the chest is where it looks kind of odd. I do like these the feet. The feet suit the design well. The chest, it's like, I sort of can't get over that chest looking kind of odd. And then the V-fin too, it's like, why so lightning bolt? It's like, yeah, it's like a face, but it's too much like a face. And it's got these weird little fangs, and then it's just too much for me. It's too silly. Keeping with the trend of liking upgraded forms less for some reason. Okay, the Septum. I think actually this is the Septum Kai. I like these beam cannons here a lot. This is this would be the Dom, I suppose. These shoulders are interesting. The feet are nice. They deviate from the typical basic, somewhat Xeonic feet that it has, or that a lot of these have. The chest is interesting. I'm trying to remember what mobile suit it reminds me of. Oh, it reminds me of the Jibera Tetra. But overall, it's like, I like it more than the Octave, but just barely. This isn't technically a mobile suit, but I wanted to add a bit of bulk. The G Falcon. That's kind of zoomed in, but you get the idea. I actually really like this design, particularly the machine guns there and the railguns there are nice. This can combine with Gundams, but I guess it could probably combine with GX bits, but I'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, I really like this this design. I do like the red and black colors that that Rosa uses. Or no, Rosa was in Rosa II's battleship, I think. But this is going to get, it's hard to compare this to the mobile suits. There. Okay, the Daughter's Tank. This thing is so silly. Because it's literally just a daughter's torso on a tank bottom. And you know what? Why not? And it also makes sense because that way you're reusing daughter's parts. You can just make twice as many daughter's parts. You don't have to set up new assembly lines for a whole different set of things for like mobiles to top. We like silly things. We do like silly things, that's true. I actually really like these gun tank arms. Overall, this, to me, this feels like an armored core. You know what? This is an armored core. And I'm not accepting criticisms to that. That's just what this is. This is an armored core. But where do I put him? This is somewhere where it's kind of like difficult to judge it. But here seems good. Now for the creature itself. You ready? This thing. The Corel. I love this thing to death. Actually, I don't even know which I like better between this and the Vertigo. It's like, it's so like thin and lanky and weird, and then the all white color scheme almost makes it look like a skeleton, and the way it's like kind of like hunched over. Stray cat just liked your toes. Cool. But I like this. I can't exactly explain like what it is about it I like. And then also the head I like just as itself. I really wish there was a modern high grade of this. Licked. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. In retrospect, I should have been able to tell us what you meant. But like everything about this, it's just like it's perfect. And actually, I think that's gonna take the top spot. He's great. He is great. He's so skeleton, and that's so perfect. And now, basically, if you ask, what if the Vertigo was a Gundam? The Novelle. I have mixed feelings regarding this. It's like, I sort of feel like the Vertigo and Gundam aesthetics kind of don't match. It's not bulky enough. You will throw up just imagining the cat stuff. Oh yeah, because yeah. No, it's too late. Now you will lick his feet. But yeah, it's sort of just like a lot of the things. Maybe it would probably help if the V-fin was bigger. But I'm just not feeling it, you know? It does good things, but it does those things in the wrong way. And now, what was this thing? The Gadil. Another mobile armor, but it's in here, so I'm sorry, but you'll have to deal with that. I really like these vents here. And then the overall shape with the two engines, and then the sort of like Y shape that it's got going on, or slingshot shape, is really great. The way the engines are shaped almost reminds me of the Valkyrie. In fact, I almost expect this thing to transform, but it doesn't. It's just a mobile armor. It does have a beam saber though. I actually like this slightly more than the G Falcon. It's very sleek. It almost looks like it should be stealth. And now, this thing. This is called the Genesis / Buffalo Custom. I don't remember this thing existing. I don't remember what this is for. I don't remember anything about this. But it's really, really weird. The horn is just kind of like ruin everything for me, and it's like I'm gonna have to put this so much lower. This looks like the villain. I think it was like a one-off episode villain. So I think it was the villain for like one episode. Okay, the Airmaster Burst. This thing made a lot of sense as an upgrade to the Airmaster, but overall, I like it so much less. The blue color scheme isn't as good. These smaller front skirt armors aren't as good. I don't like the wing things as much. These thrusters there make a lot of sense, but I don't personally like them aesthetically. But despite not really liking it as much as the original Airmaster design, it's still very, very similar. It's biting your legs and rubbing its pheromones on you. Good. But it's still very similar, so it still goes right next to the Airmaster. I just don't like it as much as the Airmaster. And now, the ultimate mobile weapon, the Dawseat. This uses, I think it uses the same basic frame as the Daughteress, but it's for underwater combat. It sort of reminds me of the ones that Hachime Katoki designed for Wing, like the Cancer and Pisces. Particularly, it reminds me of the Cancer. But it's got that underwater aesthetic down with I forgot what they called periscope, I think, and these fins. It's definitely got the underwater aesthetic down, and it's very interesting. I'll put it probably here. Also, this actually has to go down to C. Also, actually, this actually maybe go up to A. Should I put this back to square? That's definitely a lot more organized. Mostly regarding these two. I think I'll keep it a square. Okay, the what was it called? I think this would be GL bit or Leopard bit. In After War Gundam X, there's bit mobile suits, and these are controlled by a new type bit flash system. So these are controlled. So somebody who would be piloting a, I opened this one twice. Somebody who would be piloting a Gundam Leopard would control several Leopard bits remotely. And it has all of the weapons except for the main Gatling gun removed. But I'm not gonna lie, I actually really, really like this. I like it almost as much as the normal, or maybe actually just slightly more than the normal, the actual Gundam Leopard. And the Britova. This thing is very, very odd. If I remember correctly, it was originally a rear fire support mobile suit, but it was changed to a close quarters combat one. It's got a like beam thread here, and it's got missiles in the shoulders, and that's it. This thing is very, very interesting to me, but it's also very odd. I've got mixed feelings about it. The head is very cool. The legs and arms are cool, but it's mostly like the shoulders. If the shoulders were a lot smaller and had more normal proportions, I'd like it a lot. But it also, at the same time, the proportions it has are very interesting, and they make it, you know, a lot more unique. And I think the Britova will go here. Let's move this down here. This down here. Okay, the Gundam Ashtaroth. Ashtaroth was based on forgot what it was called again. Let me look again. Oh, Belgafor. I already remembered before actually looking. This is the other one based on Belgafor. It can transform into like a mobile armor mode. Actually, I should probably get a picture of that. One moment. Yeah, Gundam Ashtaron. There it is. Or let me open up a new image tab. There it is. The Ashtaron's mobile armor mode, which is often ridden by the Vasugo. I will say we were robbed of a much better design with this, because I've seen the concept version of the design, and like, holy shit, was it cool. I mean, not like this isn't cool. I do like this. And it's interesting how its color scheme is the exact opposite of Vasugo. Particularly with the fact that it's mostly black with some red, and particularly red faceplate. And overall I like this quite a bit. I didn't actually really care for it the first time that I watched. But as of now, since then I've started liking it a lot more. Like around that level of liking it. And next is the Ashtaron Hermit Crab, which is the upgrade. Let me find a picture of its mobile armor mode. It's very similar to normal Ashtaron's mobile armor mode. Yeah. This one I think I do actually like more than the original Ashtaron. It's got a bit more of that originality that the concept design had. The finished design sort of lost, while retaining a lot of what I like. There. Yeah, that's a good place for it. This, Rashvet, I believe. This is like a prototype for a new Gundam they were going to make, I believe. Or something. Or like an abandoned prototype. I don't remember. It was some kind of prototype. And so it didn't have very much weapons, and that's also why it's got these like yellow tags. Not tags, but like these yellow squares on the paint design. But this is definitely a Junior Ishigaki design. And I like it quite a bit. It's sort of almost giving me Tallgeese vibes in some ways. It's probably the Gundam face and chin with the crest. I especially really like these like flowing legs. And yes, this thing is definitely a Junior Ishigaki design. The shoulders also make that abundantly clear. And the hands. But this thing, I like enough to put it at the bottom of A. Actually. There. Okay, the daughter is Neo. Once again, arm-mounted weaponry. We were just talking about how I really like arm-mounted weaponry. It does also have a handheld beam rifle, but those beam cutters can act as beam sabers. Or I think they were called like beam wire rifles. Or something. Well, they're basically just beam rifles. The head also, I feel like these like fins suit the Daughter's head quite a bit, and the shoulders look very nice. And overall, this like takes everything that I like about the Daughters, pretty much, and keeps that, and then adds more things that I really like, and I like it, I think, more than all the Gundam X's. Next is the GX bit, which has got some interesting things going on here in the chest. It does have a full satellite cannon. I think it might also have a rifle. I don't remember. But mostly its weapon is the satellite cannon. These like black lines make the design very interesting. This part here sort of invokes the idea of that ankle guard that the original Gundam X has, without being it. And as usual, the head is interesting. but I don't like it quite as much as any of the Gundam X's. In fact, I don't know if it actually is going to end up going in A at all. But this, on the other hand, the dome version of the GX bit, it's got a different design for the satellite cannon, which I'm really a fan of. The red fingers are, red fingers are always appreciated. You like how they're all different? So true. The red shoulders also are pretty distinctive, and overall it's got a nice curving, flowing design, but still with some blockiness. And it goes at the bottom of A. Yes. Next is the Crodia Lancia, Lancero, yeah, the Crodia Lancero Custom. What's the big thing? Oh, that would be the satellite cannon. This fires a giant blast that can take out most ships. And by most, I mean all, honestly. And then this part here is our radiator fins for the satellite cannon. It's the same thing here, this part here. So these open up in like an X configuration, and then this goes over the back and over the shoulder, or like across the back and over the shoulder, which is the exact configuration that the normal GX-bit satellite cannon is in. He's an LC, don't know what that means. And then this is the twin satellite cannon. Both of these go over the shoulders, and it's, two of them, twice as much power. But this thing, I actually like quite a bit. This like twin antenna thing that's going on is interesting, as well as the backpack is very interesting. This gives me very big Lev vibes from some of the Enders. Particularly the animation version of the Lev with its bigger feet. The color scheme probably helps with that though. But I do like this thing quite a bit. Its use of wires is very interesting. It's got lots of thrusters all over it, which is nice. But there's not that much to say about it. I'll put it here. They look like Sahelanthropus or toys. There's no average. So what about this one? What's your opinion of this one, Rockford, on your Sahelanthropus or toy scale? This is somehow both, but not in between the two, if you ask me. It's definitely for space only. Return of the Mustaches. That's that's smash you in the face. Yes, I like all of these like sensors right there. That's bloody. It is bloody, of course. Cross the bloody. It's also got interesting. The chest here is very interesting, but it's this whole thing here that's just like very weird. The arms detach and fly around on their own, by the way. Well, they're wire guided, but but where do I put this? I'll put it in A, like here. And finally, the Airmaster bit, which it's mostly Airmaster, but not nearly as cool. But it simplifies the design a lot. It's got all of these thick black lines, which I love a lot. So that's nice. But I will put it here. There. Any adjustments I want to make? Let's put him... Okay. How is that average now? Okay, cool. I might actually like this better than the Airmaster Burst. Yeah, I feel like I do. What else? The big one is oops. What did I do? Oh, I just copied the link. The big one is these two, which they're kind of opposites in some ways, but the question is which one am I gonna put at the top? But I think I'll keep it how it is. Is this good? Am I liking how this is? Maybe that. Yeah, I think this is good. Okay, and I will be posting this on Twitter, but now that that's all done with, that'll be the end of this stream. The next one will be probably about the same length as this one, but it's going to be the Turn A Gundam one. I think I'll give some of the ones with like slight redesigns another chance, such as the Borjarnon, which is literally just a Zaku 2, or the Borjarnon Gavin Goonie Custom, which is basically just a Zaku 2. Biblically accurate tier list. Kiba. For now, stick with Kiba because I'm really not sure if I'm gonna go with Kira for what's it called? A rebranding name. So I'll make I'll make an announcement, like a proper announcement when I fully decide to. And I'll change like the name of my channel and the name of my Discord account and everything will be changed when I really go with it. So until then, stick with Kiba. Thanks. But the next, so the next one of this is going to be that, and also what was I gonna say? Oh yes, I think I've decided. Next week, I think I'm actually not going to play Metal Gear 2. Instead, I think I'm going to play the NES version of Metal Gear, which I was going to do after I was done the entire series, but I think I'd rather play it before Metal Gear 2, so I can make a more direct comparison and contrasting with actually, how to make that change? With the original Metal Gear, the MSX version. Punished for eating raw eggs. Great. I keep saying they're not raw, and I've been fine every time I've done it, so clearly it's not that big a deal. But anyway, tomorrow's stream is going to be Intelligent Cube for the GameCube. Not GameCube. No, it isn't. What? For the PlayStation 1. They didn't even make GameCube port. My brain saw Cube or Cube and was like, yeah. Anyway, my lack of having even two brain cells shoved together aside. Yeah, it's going to be Intelligent Cube, which is a very interesting game. So definitely keep on the lookout for that one. And I forgot to make the schedule yesterday because I fell asleep instead, but I will do it right after the stream, pretty much. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you would like, I have a Discord server, which I have linked down in my description of this stream, and I also have my Linktree where I have my Twitter, which I use as kind of a hub, and then also I have all my other links. So definitely click on that if you're interested in finding me in other places. But yeah, mostly thank you for watching. I appreciate being here. and I especially appreciate anybody who chooses to like the video and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye. Wait, one thing I forgot to say. The Intelligent Cube stream will be on my Twitch, which, let me put a link to that down in the description. There. So go look there. Go look there if you want. After credits scene, yeah, indeed. This is the after credits scene. Yeah, so go look there and maybe follow if you want. If you want to see tomorrow's stream, because that's where it's gonna be. But yeah, see ya.